"Officer, is there a problem?" Franklin Hayes, a black man in a business suit, asks politely. His hands rest visible on the steering wheel. He's just finished 14 hours at FBI headquarters. Now red and blue lights flash behind his car in a downtown Richmond parking garage. Officer Bradley Cooper's voice comes flat and cold. "Step out. This vehicle matches a stolen car report." Franklin reaches slowly for his FBI credentials. "I'm a federal agent, here's my badge." Cooper cuts him off with a sharp laugh. "Nice try. You can buy those on Amazon for $12. The badge is real federal gold with a laser-engraved serial number. Cooper doesn't look long enough to see that. He's already radioing for backup, describing Franklin as aggressive, even though Franklin stands perfectly still. 3 more patrol cars arrive. 6 officers now surrounding one black man in a suit. Not one questions Cooper's story. Not one checks the badge properly. Not one speaks up. What they don't know, 3 security cameras are recording everything. And very soon, Cooper will realize his mistake. His face will drain white. His voice will crack. His hands will shake. Because that badge isn't fake. And millions will watch him figure that out. Franklin Hayes closes the last file at 7:02 p.m. The cover sheet reads, "Financial Fraud - Eastern District. 14 hours, no lunch break." He rubs his eyes. His phone buzzes. FaceTime from Emma. "Dad, you said 7:30. Her voice carries that particular blend, half annoyed, half worried. The tone 9-year-olds reserve for parents who promise and forget. 20 minutes, kiddo. Pizza's on me." He grabs his jacket from the chair back. Federal Building, 4th floor. The hallway stretches ahead, fluorescent hum overhead, footsteps echoing off linoleum. Security at the front desk glances up, nods. "Night, Agent Hayes." "Night, Marcus." Franklin pushes through the glass doors. March. Air hits colder than he expected. Not quite spring. Richmond can't decide what season it wants to be. The parking garage sits 2 blocks west. Henderson Federal Parking Structure. He's parked there for 6 years. Knows every crack in the concrete, every shadow that pools between the sodium lights. Tonight, the air smells like exhaust and damp. That particular scent garages get when the ventilation can't quite keep up. Level 2, Bay 48. His spot. Not assigned, just habit. The Nissan Altima waits where he left it this morning. 2018 model, navy blue, nothing fancy. FBI fleet program. He hits the key fob. Lights blink twice. The chirp echoes. He opens the driver's door. Tosses his briefcase onto the passenger seat. The leather creaks. Radio's still on the news station from this morning. He reaches to turn the key. Then he sees the lights. Red, blue, flashing behind him in the rearview mirror. Franklin's hand stops halfway to the ignition. His training kicks in, that automatic assessment agents do without thinking. Did I run a stop sign? Speed? No. He walked here, parked legally, registration current, insurance valid. The patrol car angles behind his Altima, blocks him in, engine running, lights strobing the concrete walls. Red, blue, red, blue. The rhythm makes shadows jump. Franklin keeps both hands visible on the steering wheel. Waits, watches the mirror. A figure emerges from the patrol car. Uniform dark against the garage lights. Utility belt weighted with equipment. Flashlight in hand. The beam sweeps across Franklin's rear window, passenger side, driver side. Methodical. Searching. The officer approaches. Doesn't walk to the window. Stays back 3 feet. Cautious. Or something else. The voice comes flat. No courtesy. Step out of the vehicle. Not a question. A command. No, sir. No, excuse me. No, is there a problem? Just the imperative. The kind of tone that doesn't expect discussion. Franklin's stomach tightens. Not fear. recognition. He's seen this before. In training videos, civil rights briefings, colleague testimonies. The stop that isn't about traffic. The stop that's about something else entirely. He takes a breath, reaches for the door handle. Slow, deliberate. Every movement telegraphed. He's been an agent for 14 years. He knows what compliance looks like. And he knows what happens when compliance isn't enough. The door opens. Franklin steps out. Hands visible. No sudden moves. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead. The patrol car's radio crackles static. And in the 3 feet between Franklin Hayes and Officer Bradley Cooper, something starts that won't end here. Cooper's voice carries across the concrete, not asking, commanding. Step out of the vehicle. Franklin turns, keeps his hands visible, standard protocol. Is there a problem, officer? Cooper's flashlight sweeps across Franklin's face, too bright, deliberately so. This vehicle matches a reported stolen car, Nissan Altima, navy blue. Franklin's jaw tightens. Officer, this is my vehicle. I'm a federal agent. Here's my... Save it! Cooper cuts him off. Out! Now! The tone lands like a door slamming. Franklin steps fully out of the car. His instinct screams to argue. His training says comply, document, report later. He reaches for his credential holder. Slow, clear movements. Holds it up. FBI seal gold in the light. Badge number FS4429VA. Photo matches his face, name embossed, valid through 2026. Cooper glances at it, half a second. Then, and this is the moment that makes what comes next so perfect, he laughs. Not a chuckle, a derisive snort, short, sharp, the sound of contempt wrapped in confidence. Nice try, you can buy those on Amazon for $12. The words hang in the cold air. Franklin's hand holding the credential doesn't waver, but something shifts behind his eyes, not anger, calculation. This isn't ignorance, this is deliberate. I need real ID, license, registration, now. Franklin reaches into his jacket, pulls his wallet. Virginia driver's license. Same name, same photo, vehicle registration tucked behind it. He hands them over. Both documents list his name. Both match the badge Cooper just dismissed. Cooper looks at them for maybe 3 seconds. Doesn't compare to the badge. Doesn't call dispatch to verify. Just hands them back. Turn around, hands on the hood. Officer, I've provided valid federal credentials, and I'm providing you with a lawful order. Hands on the hood. Cooper's hand rests on his holster. Not drawing, not threatening, just there. A reminder of authority, of force, of who has which. The body cam light blinks red on Cooper's chest. 1916-12. Recording. Franklin turns, places his palms flat on the Altima's hood. The metal is cold. The position exposes his back, makes him vulnerable. Every agent knows this feeling. The powerlessness of compliance. The pat-down starts at his shoulders. Cooper's hands are thorough, unnecessarily so, checking every pocket, every seam, running down Franklin's sides, his waist, his legs. The badge holder presses against Franklin's ribs under his jacket. Cooper's hands pass right over it. Doesn't ask what it is. Doesn't acknowledge it. He's made his decision. This badge is fake. This man is lying. And he's about to prove it. Cooper steps back, keys his radio. Dispatch 12 David 8, traffic stop. Suspicious subject claiming to be federal agent with fraudulent credentials, requesting backup for verification. His voice steady, confident, routine. This isn't his first stop. This is a pattern, a practiced rhythm. The radio crackles back. Copy 12 David 8, units en route, ETA 90 seconds. Franklin stays against the hood, hands flat, breath controlled. His mind runs calculations. Badge dismissed. Credentials ignored. Backup called. Body cam recording. 3 security cameras in this garage. He knows because he checked when he started parking here. Angles from columns 12, 44, and 61. Every second is being documented. Every word. Every action. Cooper doesn't know it yet. But he just created a federal case. Not against Franklin. Against himself. Backup is coming. 3 patrol cars arriving in 90 seconds. 6 officers total. All about to witness what happens when Cooper's script hits a problem. The problem being that Franklin Hayes actually is FBI. And the badge Cooper thinks costs $12 on Amazon? It's real. Serial numbered. Issued by the Department of Justice. Valid for field operations in 6 states. And in about 22 seconds, Cooper is going to see it again. Under better light this time. Close enough that dismissal isn't possible. Close enough that his face will tell the truth, his words won't. 3 patrol cars arrive within 90 seconds. Sirens off but lights strobing. They pull in from 2 directions. Block exit lanes. 6 officers now. Franklin counts them through the corner of his eye. Thinks, 6 witnesses. Good. Cooper approaches again. Swagger in his step. The satisfaction of backup. All right, federal agent. Let's see this badge one more time. Real slow. Franklin reaches into his jacket. 2 fingers. Slow enough that every camera catches it. Pulls out the credential holder. But this time he doesn't just hold it. He opens it fully. Steps into the direct beam of Cooper's flashlight. Raises it to eye level. 6 inches from Cooper's face. The FBI seal catches the light. Holographic security features shimmer as the angle shifts. The badge, real federal gold, not aluminum foil, not plastic, reflects the beam. The photo matches Franklin's face exactly. Same cheekbones, same eyes, same expression. The signature is embossed, not printed. Raised lettering you can feel with a fingertip. Serial number FS4429VA laser engraved into the metal, valid through 2026, stamped underneath. Cooper stares at it. The garage security camera on column 44, 12 feet away, zoom triggers on the movement. Catches Cooper's face in close-up, high definition, 30 frames per second, digital timestamp in the corner. Second one. Cooper's face still shows that flush from the cold and exertion. Healthy pink, the color of someone confident, in control, executing authority. Second 2, the color begins to fade from his cheeks. Subtle at first, like someone turned down the saturation on a photograph. Second 3, his face goes ash. Not pale, not white, ash gray. Like someone pulled a plug and drained him. Like watching fruit rot in time-lapse. The transformation happens so fast it looks unnatural. Dermal blood flow just stops. His mouth opens slightly. No words come. His flashlight beam wavers. The hand holding it trembles just a quarter inch. But visible if you're looking. And the camera's looking. Officer Williams stands 8 feet back. He'll testify 6 weeks later, under oath, in a federal building. I've worked with Cooper for 2 years. I've seen him chase armed suspects through alleys at 3 a.m. Never saw him look scared. That night, he looked terrified. Officer Grant positions himself on the opposite side. He'll testify the same day. Cooper went completely pale, like I thought he was about to pass out. We all saw it. You can't fake that kind of reaction. Officer Patterson, newest of the 3, 26 years old. His whole demeanor changed in like 2 seconds. Went from in control to, I don't know how to describe it. Panicked? Yeah, panicked. 11 seconds of silence. The body cam audio picks up. Garage ambient noise. Distant traffic on Broad Street. The hum of fluorescent lights. Someone's radio crackling static in the background. And breathing. Cooper's breathing. Faster now, shallower. The kind of respiratory pattern that accompanies recognition of catastrophic error. Franklin doesn't move. Doesn't speak. Lets the badge do its work. Cooper's Adam's apple bobs. He swallows. Hard. His eyes flick from the badge to Franklin's face. Back to the badge. To the other officers. Back to the badge. Like he's hoping one of the angles will change what he's seeing. Like maybe if he looks away and looks back, it'll say something different. His left hand, the one not holding the flashlight, clenches into a fist. Then unclenches. Fingers spread. Moisture appears on his upper lip. March evening in Richmond. 12 degrees Celsius. Nobody sweats from heat. Cooper's voice, when it finally comes, sounds different. No command, no certainty. 2 registers higher and half the volume. He clears his throat, tries again. Dispatch, 12 David 8, cancel that backup. False alarm. The dispatch audio recording will show later voice stress analysis. Software designed to detect deception reads Cooper's vocal frequency patterns. Measures pitch variation, micro tremors, speech rate. The result, 385% higher stress markers than his initial call. That's not nervousness. That's not caution. That's fear. Franklin keeps the badge up, steady. Do you need to call your supervisor, officer? Cooper shakes his head, fast, multiple quick jerks. No, there was a mix-up. Vehicle description was close to... My vehicle description? Mistake. Sorry. Not I apologize. Not I was wrong. Just sorry. The word you use when you bump someone's shopping cart at the grocery store. When the stakes are nothing. When it doesn't matter. Not when you've just racially profiled a federal agent and called him a liar to his face. Cooper's hand moves to his body cam. His fingers fumble the button. First try misses completely. Second try, click. The red light goes dark. Timestamp, 1919. 09, manual shutoff. Not malfunction, not battery death. Deliberate action by Officer Bradley Cooper to stop recording what happens next. Franklin watches. Officer, did you just turn off your camera? Cooper's already backing away. 3 steps? 4. Putting distance between himself and the badge like it's radioactive. Malfunction. Happens sometimes. He's moving as he says it. Not walking, retreating. The confident swagger from 5 minutes ago replaced by something that looks like escape. The backup units sit idling. 3 officers standing by their cars. Hands near weapons because Cooper's initial call said, suspicious subject. They see Cooper. They see Franklin in a suit holding an FBI badge under a flashlight. They see Cooper's face still ashen. They look at each other. The look says everything. No words needed. They all just watched their colleague self-destruct. Officer Williams approaches Franklin. Cautious. Agent, we didn't know... Franklin hands him a business card. FBI Richmond Field Office logo. His name. His direct line. If you're asked about this incident, tell the truth. That's all I need. Williams takes the card. Nods. Looks back at Cooper's patrol car. Already pulling away. Tail lights disappearing toward the exit ramp. Looks at Grant. Neither speaks. But the communication is clear. Cooper just ended himself, and they all watched it happen. The badge changed everything in 11 seconds. Not because it's magic, not because federal credentials carry some mystical power, but because it means Franklin Hayes can walk into FBI Office of Professional Responsibility tomorrow morning and open a file. Case subject, Richmond PD Officer 0863, Bradley Cooper. And Cooper knows this. That's why he said mix-up, why he didn't apologize properly, why his body cam is off, because an apology on record is evidence. Silence is deniable, can be spun, can become, he said, she said, if it ever surfaces. But garage cameras don't have an off switch, can't be convinced to look away, don't participate in the blue wall. Camera angle C, mounted on the south support column, captures all 5 officers. When Cooper looks at the badge, They all see it. The gold seal catching light. The serial number etched clear. When he shuts off his cam, two officers glance at each other. Quick, furtive, the kind of look that says, "Did he really just—" No one intervenes. No one says, "Cooper, what are you doing?" They just stand there, witnesses to their own silence. Franklin gets in his car. His hands don't shake. 14 years as an agent builds calluses. He's been in rooms with cartel accountants who smile while discussing body counts, sat across from corrupt officials who'd order hits with the same energy as ordering lunch, been held at gunpoint twice, once in Atlanta, once in Newark. A bad traffic stop doesn't rattle him. But the system that protects bad traffic stops? That might. He drives home, follows the speed limit, uses turn signals. Everything by the book. Emma's waiting when he walks in, 9 years old, gap-toothed, wearing her favorite unicorn pajamas. "You're late. Pizza's cold." "I know, kiddo. Rough night." She doesn't ask. He doesn't tell. Not yet. Doesn't want to explain to his daughter that her father got treated like a criminal in a parking garage. That being black and driving at night sometimes means this, even with a badge. Especially with a badge, maybe. At 9:42 p.m., Franklin calls the FBI OPR hotline. The automated system answers, prompts him to leave details. He does. Precise, clinical. Badge number 0863. Incident time 1915. Location Henderson Federal Garage Level 2. Body cam shut off manually at 19:09. I'm filing formal complaints with both FBI and Richmond PD Internal Affairs. Written documentation will follow tomorrow morning. He hangs up, opens his laptop. The screen glow illuminates his face in the dark kitchen. Emma's asleep upstairs. The house quiet except for the refrigerator hum and his fingers on keys. The report takes an hour. Timeline with precise timestamps. Camera locations and angles. Dispatch log reference. Cooper's statements verbatim. The ones Franklin remembers at least. The body cam activation and deactivation times. The badge serial number. The three officers' names from their name tags. No anger. No adjectives. No editorial commentary, just facts. Chronological, verifiable. The kind of report that reads like testimony, because it might become testimony. He doesn't write, "Cooper racially profiled me." He writes, "Cooper stated my FBI credentials could be purchased online for $12 despite valid badge, photo ID, and matching vehicle registration." Doesn't write, "Cooper lied on dispatch." Writes, "Dispatch audio describes subject as aggressive. Garage camera footage shows subject standing stationary with hands visible." Let the facts do the work. Let the contradiction speak for itself. At 11:08 p.m., he hits send. The complaint goes to 3 email addresses: FBI OPR, Richmond PD Internal Affairs, and his own supervisor, just as procedure requires. The email confirmation pops up. Sent successfully. Timestamp logged. By morning, this stops being Franklin's problem alone, becomes Richmond PD's problem, FBI's problem, and maybe, if the receipts stack high enough, a court's problem. Cooper probably thinks it's over, probably driving home right now convinced he dodged consequences. Shut off the cam, left the scene. No harm, no foul. But cameras don't forget. And neither does Franklin Hayes. Lieutenant Commander James Wilson, FBI Office of Professional Responsibility, receives Franklin's complaint at 8:04 a.m. He reads it twice, the second time slower, takes notes in margins, then picks up his desk phone. "Hayes, this is Wilson. I'm opening a preliminary review. Need your statement on record, all available footage, any witness contacts. Can you come in this afternoon?" Franklin can. He does. At 10:30 a.m., Sarah Bennett's phone buzzes on her desk at Richmond Times-Herald. Unknown number. Text message. "You cover RPD misconduct. Check complaint number RPDIA 2023-0843, and the 7 after it. All same officer, all buried. No name, no return number, just that. Sarah Bennett has been an investigative reporter for 19 years. Started at a weekly in Petersburg, worked her way to the Times-Herald Metro desk. She knows a whistleblower when she sees one. Someone inside with access. Someone tired of watching the system protect itself. She files a public records request. Virginia Freedom of Information Act. Internal Affairs complaints for Officer Bradley Cooper. Badge 0863. Last 24 months. The request goes to RPD's legal department. They have 5 business days to respond under state law. But Sarah doesn't wait 5 days. Meanwhile, Franklin sits in an interview room at FBI Richmond Field Office. Gray walls, table bolted to the floor, recording equipment obvious. Lieutenant CMDR Wilson across from him, notepad open, pen ready. Franklin walks through the timeline. Wilson takes notes, doesn't interrupt, lets Franklin finish before asking questions. You said he shut off the body cam manually? Yes, I heard the click. Metadata will confirm the timestamp. Wilson nods. We'll subpoena the cam and dispatch logs. This crosses into civil rights territory if there's a pattern. Franklin pauses, considers. There's a pattern. How do you know? Because I'm not the first. Wilson's pen stops mid-note. Explain. The way he moved, the confidence. This wasn't improvisation. This was routine. Day 3 after the incident, Sarah Bennett doesn't need 5 business days. She has sources inside RPD. Cops tired of covering for bad ones, officers who joined to serve and found themselves protecting instead. A manila envelope appears on her desk. No return address. Inside, photocopies. 8 internal affairs complaint files. All complainants Black or Latino. All incidents between 1800 and 2100 hours. All locations within a 10-block radius of downtown Richmond. All filed against Officer Bradley Cooper. Sarah cross-references the dates with public arrest records. 0 arrests resulted from these stops. 0 citations issued. Just stops. Pat-downs. Delays. Then release. Complaint 0843. March 2023. Derek Anderson, African American, age 31. Stopped while entering his own apartment building on Clay Street. Cooper claimed match to burglary suspect. No arrest. Complaint filed, marked unfounded. Complaint 0891, May 2023. Luis Hernandez, Latino, age 28. Stopped walking home from work on Broad Street. Cooper claimed suspicious behavior. No contraband, no warrant. Complaint filed, marked unable to determine. Complaint 0934, July 2023. Jamal Thompson, African American, age 44. Stopped in parking lot near Monroe Park. Cooper claimed vehicle match. No match. Complaint filed, closed, no policy violation. 5 more following the same pattern. 8 total. Every single one closed without discipline, without retraining, without notation in Cooper's personnel file. Sarah digs deeper. Public records. Richmond PD overtime budget allocations. Officer Cooper's OT hours logged monthly. January 2023, 18 hours. March 2023, month of first complaint, 52 hours. May, 61 hours. July, 74. By December, 89 hours overtime per month. She does the math. 385% increase year over year. She notes this is illustrative for storytelling purposes, but reflects a documented pattern in the complaints. She finds the policy buried in the union contract. Richmond PD incentivizes proactive policing. Officers making more stops, more field interviews, more community contacts get priority for overtime shifts. More stops equals more pay. The system rewards volume, doesn't ask questions about who gets stopped. Then the second envelope arrives, digital this time, encrypted email, anonymous sender. Subject line, "You'll want these." Attached, screenshots. Text messages, group chat. 5 RPD officers, including Cooper. Date, February 2024, 3 weeks before Franklin's stop. Text from Cooper, 2048. Downtown after dark equals fish in a barrel. Easy FIs, pad the numbers, nobody complains. Reply from Officer Jensen. IA won't touch it, they never do. Cooper, exactly. Sarah's hands freeze above her keyboard. This isn't negligence, not implicit bias, not unconscious prejudice. This is strategy. Deliberate, incentivized, protected. You've heard Cooper's face drain of color. Now watch as 8 more victims find their voices. The 3-second clip just became a movement. Stay with me. But before Sarah publishes, Wilson calls Franklin back to the field office, day 6 after the incident. We need to talk about the other officers, Williams, Grant, Patterson. They're willing to make statements. Franklin sits up straighter. About what? About Cooper's reaction. They all saw it, and they're saying the same thing. Officer Williams, interview room, under oath, FBI digital recorder running. When Agent Hayes held up that badge, Cooper's whole face changed. I mean, the color literally drained out of it. In 15 years on the force, I've never seen someone go from confident to terrified that fast. It was maybe 3 seconds. Pink to gray. I told Grant right after, Cooper's done. Officer Grant, same day, different room, same oath. Cooper looked like he'd seen a ghost. No, worse, like he'd become one. The man went pale. His hand was shaking when he reached for his radio. I've seen Cooper handle armed robberies with more composure than that. Whatever he realized in that moment, it scared him more than any suspect ever has. Officer Patterson, 26 years old, newest of the 3. I thought he was having a medical emergency, like a stroke or something. His face just lost color. Then I realized he wasn't sick. He was scared. Because he knew, we all knew, he'd just pulled over a federal agent and treated him like a criminal. And every second of it was on camera. Wilson closes the file folder. 3 independent witnesses. Same story. All willing to testify. This isn't he said, she said anymore. This is documented panic caught on camera and confirmed by Cooper's own colleagues. Franklin processes this. They're breaking the blue wall. They're not breaking it. Cooper shattered it when his face went white. They're just confirming what everyone can see. Sarah writes her story. 4,000 words. Title: Pattern of Prejudice. Richmond officers, 8 complaints, 0 consequences. She includes the overtime data, the complaint summaries with names redacted per journalistic ethics, the text screenshots verified through metadata forensics, and excerpts from the 3 officers' sworn testimony to FBI. She doesn't include the final text from Cooper in that thread, the one sent at 20:53, "Gonna hit my OT cap by March. Thanks, downtown." She doesn't need to. The pattern speaks. Before publishing, she calls Richmond PD Public Affairs, professional courtesy, opportunity to respond. We cannot discuss individual personnel matters. All complaints are taken seriously and reviewed per policy. Can you comment on the correlation between Officer Cooper's field interview numbers and his overtime increases? Silence on the line. Then, no further comment at this time. Sarah publishes at 6 a.m., 3 days after Franklin filed his complaint. The article goes live on the Times-Herald website. By 9 a.m., 340,000 views. By noon, shared 49,000 times. The algorithms pick it up. Twitter recommends it. Facebook surfaces it. The story spreads. Not because it's unique. Because it's so common. Because every reader knows someone with a story like this. Has heard the same excuses, seen the same patterns, watched the same system protect itself while claiming to investigate. The difference this time, Receipts. 8 complaint files. Overtime records. Text messages admitting strategy. 3 officers willing to testify. Security footage from 3 angles. Dispatch audio contradicting police narrative. Body cam metadata showing deliberate shutoff. And somewhere in that stack of evidence, buried in forensic detail, 3 seconds of video. Cooper's face. Color draining. The moment a lie became visible. Franklin's phone rings at 12:14 p.m. Unknown number. He considers letting it go to voicemail. Answers anyway. Agent Hayes, this is Sarah Bennett, reporter with Richmond Times-Herald. I believe you filed a complaint against Officer Cooper. I want you to know you're not alone. There are 8 others. 3 of Cooper's own colleagues just testified to FBI about what they saw on his face that night. The system knew about every single one of these complaints, and it buried them until now. Richmond Police Department issues a statement at 2 p.m. Same day, Sarah's article drops. Public Affairs sends it to all major outlets simultaneously. We are aware of recent allegations regarding Officer Bradley Cooper. Officer Cooper acted within departmental policy and under good faith belief of a vehicle match. The incident is under internal review. We take all complaints seriously and investigate thoroughly per established procedures. 88 words. 0 acknowledgement of the pattern. 0 mention of 8 prior complaints. 0 reference to 3 officers' testimony. 0 explanation for the body cam shutoff. By 4 p.m., Richmond Police Union President Gerald Tucker calls a press conference. He stands at a podium. 6 officers in uniform flank him. Cooper is not among them. Agent Franklin Hayes is a respected federal officer, but respect goes both ways. Officer Cooper was doing his job, protecting this community from vehicle theft. Mr. Hayes chose to escalate a simple misunderstanding into a public spectacle. We stand by our officer. We ask the public to wait for all facts before rushing to judgment. Tucker doesn't mention the body cam, doesn't mention the dispatch audio, doesn't mention 8 buried complaints. Doesn't have to. This isn't about facts. This is about controlling the narrative, about making doubt seem reasonable, about buying time. And then, day 9. Someone leaks the clip. Not the full 47 seconds of body cam footage, just 3 seconds. Frame 1918-45 to 1918-48. Cooper's face in close-up from garage camera angle B. Color draining in real time. High definition, unmistakable. It hits Twitter at 6:14 a.m., posted by an anonymous account created that morning. No context, just the clip and a timestamp. By 9 a.m., 385,000 views. By noon, 1.2 million. By midnight, 2.4 million. The hashtag goes national. #went white trends for 18 hours straight. The comments section becomes a jury without a courtroom. You can literally see the moment he realizes he's done. That's not fear, that's guilt. Watch his hand shake at 0.02 seconds. My man went from cop to ghost in 3 seconds flat. Some defend him. He made an honest mistake. Anyone can miss something. But the replies come fast. Then why did he shut off his camera? Why didn't he apologize properly? Why are there 8 other complaints exactly like this? The clip speaks louder than any defense. Richmond PD holds an emergency meeting. Union President Tucker schedules a second press conference for 2 p.m. He stands at the same podium, does not play the clip, does not mention the clip, does not address the clip. Officer Cooper acted in good faith. This video is being taken out of context. A reporter shouts from the gallery. What context makes his face drain like that? Tucker. No further comments at this time. He walks off. Questions follow him. He doesn't turn around. The clip reaches Franklin on day 11. He's sitting at a desk on the 4th floor. Administrative duties. Standard procedure when an agent is subject of any formal incident report, even as complainant. Policy says so. Policy also says it's temporary, but it feels like punishment. Maya Brooks sends the clip via text. Civil rights attorney. Sarah Bennett recommended her. Message attached. This changes everything. Public already convicted him. We just need to make it official. Franklin watches it. 3 seconds on loop. He saw Cooper's face in person, watched it happen live, but seeing it immortalized in HD, slowed down, dissected by millions, that hits different. Not satisfaction, more like validation. The truth doesn't need a lawyer when it has a timestamp. Inside FBI headquarters, Lieutenant CMDR Wilson gets a call from the assistant director. Jim, walk me through this Hayes incident. Mayor's office is calling. They're concerned about interagency relations. We need Richmond PD cooperation on 3 active cases. Don't let this become a war. Wilson, it's not a war. It's a civil rights violation. That's for OPR to determine. Keep me updated. And Jim, tread carefully. Wilson hangs up, opens his email. New message from the AD's office. Marked confidential. OPR investigation into Hayes-Cooper incident to proceed per standard protocol. Avoid media comment. Coordinate with RPDIA where appropriate. Wilson reads between the lines. Coordinate means don't contradict. Standard protocol means slow. He forwards the email to Franklin. Subject line, FYI, pressure's coming. Franklin reads it at his desk. He's been reassigned to administrative duties pending OPR review. Policy, procedure, temporary. The words they use when they want you quiet, when they need you sidelined, when cooperation matters more than justice. His phone rings. School principal. Mr. Hayes, we had an incident today. Emma was confronted by classmates during recess. They said her father thinks he's better than cops. She's okay, but she's upset. Can you come in tomorrow? Franklin closes his eyes. I'll be there. That night, Emma asks, Dad, did you do something bad? He kneels, eye level. No, kiddo. I did something necessary. Sometimes that's harder. Are you in trouble? Not the kind you're thinking. But yeah, some people are angry. Why? Because I told the truth. And the truth doesn't always make people happy. The next morning, Franklin finds an envelope in his mailbox. No stamp, no return address, just his name handwritten. Inside, single sheet of paper. Drop this. Feds aren't welcome in Richmond. Accidents happen. No signature. Doesn't need one. The message is clear. He photographs it, sends it to Wilson. Wilson calls back in 6 minutes. I'm filing this with Richmond PD and our threats unit. You need security? No, but Emma does. School pickup. Can we arrange? Done. Agent there by 2:45 every day until this is resolved. Franklin doesn't sleep that night. Sits in his living room. Lights off. Replays scenarios. Could he have handled it differently? Should he have just taken the stop, filed quietly, let the system handle it? 12 people before him did exactly that. And Cooper's still on the street. Franklin opens his laptop, types one sentence. Lieutenant CMDR Wilson. I'm not withdrawing. Proceed with full investigation. Hit send. The clip gave him something Cooper never expected. An army of witnesses, 2.4 million strong, all watching, all waiting to see if receipts matter more than rank. Desk duty, day 16. Franklin Hayes sits in a cubicle reviewing financial disclosure forms. Work a paralegal could do. Work designed to bore him into quitting. He doesn't quit, but he thinks about it. His phone stays silent. Colleagues who used to grab coffee don't stop by anymore. Not because they disagree, because it's safer not to be seen with him. Politics. Optics. The machinery of self-preservation spinning in the background. At lunch, he sits alone in the cafeteria, eats a sandwich he doesn't taste. CNN plays on the mounted TV. Local segment. FBI agents' complaint against Richmond officer Sparks debate. Viral clip ignites national conversation. They show the 3-second clip. Cooper's face draining. pink to gray. Then they cut to Tucker's press conference. This isn't about accountability. It's about a federal officer trying to intimidate local police. No one interviews Franklin. Policy won't allow it until OPR closes. So the narrative becomes one-sided. Cooper silent. Franklin silenced. Tucker filling the void with spin. He thinks about Emma. 9 years old. Doesn't understand why kids at school say mean things. Doesn't understand why an FBI agent walks her home now. She asked last night, "Is this going to be forever?" He said no. He hopes he's not lying. Franklin's at his lowest point. The system is pushing back hard. But 2.4 million people didn't give up. Neither will he. Stay for what happens when the receipts become undeniable. At 4:30 p.m., he calls Maya Brooks, the civil rights attorney. Voice tired. "Ms. Brooks, Franklin Hayes. I'm considering withdrawing my complaint. Wanted your counsel." Long pause on the line. Then, "Agent Hayes, I represent 12 other people who filed complaints against Cooper. 11 withdrew under pressure. If you withdraw, Richmond PD will say, 'See, no merit,' and those 11 stay buried. What if I fight and lose? What if you don't fight and he does this to someone else's daughter?" The question hangs. Franklin has no answer. Maya continues. "That 3-second clip? It changed everything. People believe their eyes, and 2.4 million people have seen what Cooper looked like when he realized he was wrong." He hangs up, opens his desk drawer, Emma's school photo on top, on, gap-toothed smile. Underneath, his Medal of Valor commendation from 2019. Exceptional courage in the face of danger during hostage negotiation. 3 hours talking a man off a bridge. No script. Just him and a stranger deciding whether life was worth it. The man chose life. Franklin talked him through. He wonders if he can talk himself through now. His laptop pings. Email notification. Sender, anonymous. Subject, thank you. Body, I'm complaint 0891. I withdrew because I was scared. I didn't think anyone would listen. You made them listen. That clip, seeing his face. It's the first time I felt believed. Don't stop. No name, just that. Franklin reads it 3 times, opens the viral clip again. Not to torture himself, to remember. 3 seconds. Cooper's face. The moment fear became visible. The moment a lie couldn't hide anymore. He plays the dispatch audio next. Cooper's voice. Acting aggressive. Then the garage footage. Franklin standing still. Hands visible. Compliant. Then Cooper's hand shutting off the body cam. Click. That click. That's the sound of someone who knows he's doing wrong and doesn't care. That's the sound Franklin can't let win. He closes his laptop. Texts. Wilson. I'm staying in. Wilson replies in 10 seconds. Good, because we just got a subpoena approved. Grand jury wants RPD's internal affairs files, all of them. Franklin stares at the screen. Grand jury. That's not administrative review. That's not internal investigation. That's criminal. Federal criminal. This just became real. Maya Brooks texts 30 seconds later. Saw the grand jury news. That 3-second clip? It changed everything. Juries believe their eyes, and 2.4 million people already have. Sarah Bennett's second article publishes on day 25. Title: 12 Voices, the Pattern Richmond PD Tried to Bury. She interviews 5 of the 8 complainants. With permission, names included. Names. Faces shown. No more shadows. No more anonymity. They're done hiding. Derek Anderson. I thought I did something wrong. I apologized for entering my own building, my own home. I had keys in my hand and I was apologizing. Luis Hernandez. He asked where I was born. I said El Paso. He said, sure you were. Like I was lying. Like my accent made me guilty. Jamal Thompson. I teach high school. I coach basketball. Never been arrested. Clean record. And I stood there thinking, is this how I die? Over a parking space? 4 more joined them. People who never filed complaints because they didn't think anyone would care, didn't think the system would listen, didn't think anything would change. Now, they think differently. Attorney Maya Brooks files a joint civil rights lawsuit, Hayes et al. V. Cooper, Richmond PD, Deputy Chief Stevens, Federal Court, Eastern District of Virginia. 12 plaintiffs. Damages unspecified. Demands, policy reform, officer termination, civilian oversight. The lawsuit makes CNN, NPR, Washington Post picks it up. But what really makes it explode? The clip. Sarah embeds it in her second article. 3 seconds. Cooper's face. 2.4 million views becomes 3.8 million, then 5.1 million. It's not just viral anymore. It's cultural. A moment. A symbol. Hashtag went white becomes shorthand. Not for race, for accountability. For the moment, truth becomes visible. For what happens when power realizes it miscalculated. On day 30, FBI Office of Professional Responsibility issues preliminary findings. Internal document, leaked to Sarah within hours. Credible evidence suggests Officer Bradley Cooper's actions on March 15, 2024, violated Agent Franklin Hayes' civil rights under color of law, Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242. Body cam deactivation appears deliberate. Dispatch descriptions inconsistent with video evidence. Recommendation: refer to DOJ Civil Rights Division for criminal review. Richmond PD stays silent. Union still defends. But cracks appear. 3 more RPD officers, anonymously, give statements to FBI investigators. We saw the badge. We knew. We didn't speak up. One adds, it's not the first time, but maybe after this it'll be the last. City Council receives 2,300 petition signatures. Citizens demanding public hearing. Transparency. Answers. Councilwoman Angela Morris, 4th District, files a motion. The citizens of Richmond deserve to know what happened. We will hold a hearing under oath with testimony from all involved parties. Date: April 28, 2024, 6 p.m. Council Chambers. Community groups organize a rally outside City Hall. 400 people show up. Signs, chants. Speakers include pastors, teachers, former officers, and Franklin's daughter, Emma. He brings her, holds her hand on the steps. She doesn't speak, doesn't need to. Her presence says everything. This is who you're protecting, or failing to. Someone in the crowd holds a tablet, playing the 3-second clip on loop. Cooper's face draining, over and over. It's become a symbol now, not of one man's guilt, of a system's transparency, or lack thereof. Franklin stands at the edge watching. Maya Brooks approaches. They're listening now. Because they have to, not because they want to. The clip gave them no choice. 5 million people saw his face. They can't unsee it, neither can a jury. The hearing is set. April 28, 10 days away. Public. Sworn testimony. Richmond PD can't delay anymore. Cooper can't hide. And the clip, 3 seconds that 5 million people have seen, is about to enter the official record. April 15, 2024. Grand Jury for Eastern District of Virginia issues subpoena number 124GJ00312. Subject: Richmond Police Department Internal Affairs Division. Demand: all complaint files, case notes, correspondence, email communications related to Officer Bradley Cooper, badge 0863, January 2023 to present. Deadline: 8 days. RPD Legal Department panics. Federal subpoena. No wiggle room, no negotiation. They box up 14 months of files. 3 bankers' boxes. Ship them to grand jury clerk. Day 3 after delivery, Sarah Bennett gets another anonymous tip. Phone call this time. Voice muffled. Whisper. Check the edit logs. IA reports have version histories. Someone cleaned them. Click. Line goes dead. Sarah calls a source in digital forensics. Can you recover edit metadata from PDF complaint forms? If they were created in Word first, converted to PDF, yeah. Metadata survives sometimes. Sarah gets a subpoena through Maya's lawsuit. Discovery request, digital files, not just printouts. Judge grants it. What they find, 6 of 8 complaint reports were edited after being filed. Original versions saved in RPD server backup show higher severity classifications. Example, Complaint 0891, Luis Hernandez. Original classification, sustained, policy violation, racial profiling concern. Edited version, the one actually reviewed, unfounded, insufficient evidence. Edited by Deputy Chief Harold Stevens, Internal Affairs Supervisor. Date of edit, 14 days after filing. Digital signature on both documents. Can't be denied. Can't be explained away. Someone kept the originals. Maybe accident. Maybe insurance. Either way, evidence of obstruction. Sarah publishes, Richmond Deputy Chief altered misconduct reports to protect officer. Article includes side-by-side screenshots. Original versus edited. Same case number, different conclusions. Stevens' signature on both. It gets worse. Maya's legal team pulls campaign finance records, public database. Deputy Chief Harold Stevens ran for Richmond City Council in 2022. Lost. But during campaign, $18,500 in donations from Richmond Police Union Packey. He's not elected. He's just deputy chief. Why is the union funding him? Because he protects their guys. Then the final receipt drops. FBI forensic team analyzing seized phones. Cooper's work-issued phone subpoenaed under criminal investigation. Deleted texts recovered. Thread between Cooper and Officer Jensen. Date, March 15th, 2024, 1958, 43 minutes after the stop. Jensen. Heard you had a Fed stop tonight? Cooper. LOL, yeah. Saw the plates come back FBI fleet but pulled him anyway. Wanted to see if he'd pull rank. Jensen. Ballsy. What happened? Cooper. Dude actually had the real badge. Should have seen my face. Jensen. You good? Cooper. Yeah, shut off cam quick. No harm, no foul. Sarah gets leaked screenshot 2 hours after FBI seizes the phone. She reads it 4 times, calls Maya. He knew. Before he turned on his lights, he knew Franklin was FBI. This wasn't a mistake. It was a test, a game. And when Franklin called his bluff, Cooper panicked. Maya. This is intent. Civil rights violation with premeditation. He targeted a federal agent specifically because he was federal. That's not racial profiling alone. That's institutional intimidation. And when it backfired, he tried to erase evidence. Sarah. The emoji. He's laughing about his own face draining. He won't be laughing when a jury sees this. Franklin reads the text in Maya's office. Silent for 30 seconds. Then, he ran my plates, saw FBI, and still pulled me over. Not despite the badge, because of it. He wanted to intimidate a Fed, on camera, for fun. And when the Fed had a real badge, he realized how badly he miscalculated. That's why his face drained. Not surprise, recognition. He knew what he'd done. He just didn't think he'd face consequences. Franklin looks at the text again, the emoji, laughing face. He's going to. Deputy Chief Stevens resigns 48 hours before City Council hearing. Personal reasons. No statement. Union doesn't cut him loose. Hires him as consultant instead. Loyalty runs deep. Cooper's attorney files motion to exclude text messages. Prejudicial. Judge denies it. The defendant's own words describing his own actions are not prejudicial, they're evidence. Hearing in 10 days. Cooper just lost his last line of defense. April 28, 2024. 6 p.m. Richmond City Council Chambers. 1300 East Broad Street. Capacity, 250. Attendance, 385. People stand in aisles. Line the back wall. News cameras from 5 networks set up in press gallery. This isn't a hearing anymore. This is reckoning. Council President Maria Lawson gavels. We convene this public hearing to review allegations of misconduct by Officer Bradley Cooper and deficiencies in Richmond PD Internal Affairs oversight. Testimony will be under oath. We begin with complainant Franklin Hayes. Franklin takes the stand. Navy suit, FBI pin on lapel, raises his right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth? I do. He speaks for 12 minutes. No notes, just timeline, just facts. March 15th, Henderson Federal Garage. Vehicle match claim. Badge dismissed. Pat down. Backup called. Body cam shut off at 19:19:09. He finishes. I filed this complaint not because I'm special, but because I can. 12 others couldn't, or did and were buried. This hearing is for them. Chamber stays silent. Maya Brooks stands. Council members, I'd like to enter Exhibit M video footage from Henderson Federal Parking Garage, camera angle B, timestamp 19:18:45 to 19:18:48. This is the moment. She doesn't play it. Voice-only format. She describes it. At 19:18:45, Officer Cooper's face is visible in close-up, approximately 6 inches from Agent Hayes' FBI badge. Lighting, direct from Cooper's own flashlight. His face at this frame shows normal coloration, healthy dermal blood flow. He is looking directly at the badge. Frame 19:18:46. 1 second later, facial coloration begins to shift. Cheek tissue transitions from pink-toned to gray-toned. Visible moisture appears on upper lip despite 12-degree ambient temperature. Frame 19:18:48. Subject's face has lost approximately 68% of dermal flush. Mouth open, no speech. Adam's apple movement indicates hard swallow. This is the frame that went viral with 5.1 million views. This is the face of someone who knows, in real time, that he has made a catastrophic error. Silence in the chamber. Maya continues. 3 officers present at the scene gave sworn testimony to FBI describing this exact moment. Officer Williams, terrified. Officer Grant, completely pale. Officer Patterson, panicked. This is not subjective interpretation. This is observable, documented physiological response to recognition of wrongdoing. She sits. Council President Lawson looks at Cooper. Officer Cooper, you've seen this footage? Cooper's attorney stands. We decline to comment on specific evidence while federal charges are pending. Lawson. The footage is now part of Richmond City Council official record. Exhibit M accepted, 8-0. That's it. The moment Cooper's face drained color is now government document. Archived, searchable, cited in legal filings. 3 seconds that will outlive everyone in that chamber. Public comment period. 12 people speak. Luis Hernandez. I'm complaint 0891. I withdrew because I was scared. I'm not scared anymore. Derek Anderson. I'm 0843. I thought it was my fault. It wasn't. One after another. Chamber listens. At 9:42 p.m., Council votes. Resolution number 2024-089. Independent Civilian Oversight Board for RPD. Mandatory body cam audit. Officer Cooper suspended without pay pending criminal trial. Internal Affairs restructure under civilian leadership. Vote 8-2, passes. Franklin exhales, doesn't smile, just exhales. Outside, reporters swarm. Franklin says 6 words. The receipts spoke for themselves. He walks to his car. Emma waits with Maya. She asks, "Did we win?" Franklin, "We all did." 60 days later. June 28, 2024. Richmond Police Department announces Officer Bradley Cooper's termination. Effective immediately. Official reason: violation of departmental policy, conduct unbecoming, or federal charges pending, deprivation of rights under color of law, Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242. Trial date, October 2024. Prosecution Exhibit A, text message. "Should have seen my face. Deputy Chief Harold Stevens does not return to law enforcement. Union consultant contract ends after 3 weeks. No explanation. He moves to North Carolina." LinkedIn profile, inactive. Franklin Hayes returns to full duty. June 30th, promoted to Senior Special Agent Financial Crimes Division. His first case back, investigating police union financial irregularities in 3 Virginia counties. He smiles at the irony. Richmond City Council charters Civilian Oversight Board. 8 members, all non-law enforcement. First meeting, July 15th, 2024. Agenda Item 1. Review 43 previously closed IA complaints. Reopen investigations where evidence warrants. Emma asks one night over dinner, "Dad, why did his face do that in the video?" Franklin thinks about how to explain fear, guilt, recognition of consequence to a 9-year-old. Because lies have a color, kiddo. When you're pretending to be right and suddenly realize you're wrong, your body knows before your brain admits it. His face showed what his words wouldn't say. Did he go to jail? Not yet, but probably. Good. She stabs a piece of broccoli. 9 years old and already understands justice. The badge sits on Franklin's desk. Serial number FS4429VA. Same badge Cooper dismissed as $12 on Amazon. Same badge that drained color from his face in 3 seconds. Same badge that broke open a system. One badge can drain color from a man's face, but it can also return color to a system that had gone gray. Richmond PD now has civilian oversight. Body cams can't be disabled during stops. IA reports are public. All because one man went white, and 4 cameras caught it. If you think 3 seconds can change everything, hit that like button. If you want more stories where receipts speak louder than words, subscribe. Comment below. Have you ever seen someone's face change when they realized they made a terrible mistake? I'll see you in the next one.